Oh, good morning. Let's find the camera. Well, it's like almost 2 o'clock in the morning, so of course I'm confused. Here we go. Oh, come on. What have I done to the camera cord? All right, it's stuck under a box. There, here it goes. That's better. Oh, what do you want? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Camera's upside down. That helps. There, here we go. I think. And let's. Come on, camera. There, here we go. Good morning from beautiful downtown Crestline in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California's Inland Empire. It's time for a potato chip. Oh, hi, Philip. Welcome in. Well, what happened was the heat really got to me on Wednesday. I did manage to putter around a little bit and water the roses and the blackberries. Yeah, I've been sipping water and electrolytes. Oh, that darn lamp. If I turn it off, I'll be in the real dark. But let me see if I can kind of mute the light from it. The lampshade is glass, which works when I need the light. Let's put this over it. That's better. Well, not much better. Heck with it. If I turn the light off, you won't see me at all. My little portable lamp isn't working. It was cheap and it broke. Let's try this. Don't remember how it works. There, here we go. It's a battery operated thingy. All right. Where am I going to put it? That's a little better. No big old glaring globe of light. Let's see. Hi, Ditch. Welcome in. You have a lot of explaining to do. Okay. Well, yeah, me too. Lunchbox ice packs from the freezer. I have to use them to keep the phone and modem from getting too stinking hot. They don't work well when they're hot. Let me get an ice pack. This one's turned warm. I'll switch them out. Be right back. Okay, you guys stay in there. Here. Well, I was going to make a pineapple upside down cake for my cooking channel, or maybe a second lasagna. But it's too darn hot. Even at night, it isn't terribly cool. It just isn't quite as hot. Here it is, almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I just kind of dozed off and on all day, and the cats were mostly inside because it's so hot out there. I just left the door open and let them decide. Whoa. Gotta make sure I don't knock the lamp over. It's kind of like a flashlight. It's one that nice lady sent me in her care package from England. I think she actually lives in Italy or France, but it had a real Cadbury chocolate bar and her wonderful sketch of a flower and this cool light, and well, it was cold then, so she sent me a kind of a, I don't know what to call it. It's a sleeveless thermal back support all-purpose vest thingy. Well, anyway, I just thought, as long as I'm up now, I'd better say hello to all of you guys. You're important to me. Well, good morning, X. Massachusetts. Well, in your neck of the woods, it's 5 in the morning. For me, it's 2 o'clock. But, I'm taking off the sweater. It's one of those in-between temperatures. Because the ceiling fan is on, I get a little slight chill, but yeah, it's a torch. The flashlight is a torch. Yes. Like with the fan blowing on me, it's a little chilly, but not terribly. But with the sweater on, I'm a little too warm. Muggy where X is. Wow. Well, here it's rarely muggy because we're what they classify as semi-desert. So we don't get a lot of humidity, but when we do, oh boy, we are not used to that. Anyway, I'm like, can't do much between 10 in the morning and 6 or 7 at night, and even after the sun goes down, it stays hot for a while. Oh, Ditch is working on a logo for me. Well, thank you. I did put my kitchen challenged cook words, text only, on an apron. I thought that would be appropriate for a cooking channel. Here it is on my t-shirt. Whoops. Kitchen challenged cook. You can make changes, and if you buy the t-shirt, you can change things. You can edit it, change the colors and stuff like that. And you can change it from I think you can change it from a men's t-shirt to a women's, but I like the neckline on a men's shirt. The women's shirts lately have been just too darn revealing for a 70-year-old woman. Well, hello, Thikimoto. Welcome in. Philip is smart. He does most of his cooking in the microwave. Well, I have these plans to make a lasagna and a pineapple upside down cake for some local people who make sure that my trash is hauled away. I can't afford the rates of the official trash collectors. They make us pay a fee anyway, but if you want them to actually haul your trash, you pay even more. And I can't. Plus, I have much more trash than they will take because of Snowmageddon and various delays in getting rid of the stuff in my big shed that got ruined because the door blew off and the rain and snow got in. Well, Ditch, I wish I could make you a I wish I could make you a pineapple upside down cake and a lasagna. The one I put on my cooking show, I ate one slice of it and gave the rest to my brother. Apparently, the packaged food that you either microwave or put in the oven lately has had hot peppers in it. And he doesn't even like black pepper. So I thought I'd make a more mild lasagna for him and no hot peppers and very little black pepper. The one I'm making for Jason, who takes my trash, will have more black pepper in it and a ton of onion. My brother Steve doesn't like onions either. But it'll have the sofrito if you're in Italy, mirepoix in France. I call it the Three Sisters: onions, celery, and carrots. Mom never knew about that. For lasagna, she actually fried the onion with the hamburger meat and the sausage. Usually when she made something with onion, she'd pop them into the sauce and boil them. Yuck. Anyway, she didn't know about carrots and celery. So her lasagna was meat heavy. It did taste good. But, she used a can of spaghetti sauce. And she went way too heavy on the oregano. If you're in England, you say oregano, but I grew up saying oregano, so that's how I say it. And I don't like it. There's something sharp and unpleasant about it. So I put in a tiny bit and then use basil. And at this time, I don't have fresh herbs. My basil plant, which was very good to me for 3 years, finally bolted and died. Oh, Philip's been watching The Soprano. And he's curious about all the Italian food like baked ziti. Yeah, baked ziti looks like lasagna, but it's a different kind of pasta. You should watch Vincenzo's Plate on YouTube. Vincenzo is a real chef, retired, but doing his YouTube channel. Oh, Philip says his mom has to avoid powdered onions in food. And now even Campbell's chicken soup has that. Yeah, powdered onions are icky. I have some in the spice cabinet, but I've never used it. You can get freeze-dried onions in little chunks. They're a little better. You need to hydrate them, put them in cold water to soak before you use them. And that way the water soaks up any additives they've put in to preserve the onions. And they get plump and juicy instead of like little pebbles in your food. Ditch wants to go back to an all pasta diet. I've given up on the professional advice about eating the right foods. Doesn't work for me. They're never personalized for your digestive system and your, oh, well, that word just escaped my mind. It would worry me if I didn't always have this problem since I was in high school. I forget words. Which professional advice? Nutritionists and dietitians. Yeah, not palate, how your body works. Metabolism. Some people need more carbs, others don't. Thank you, Ditch. Well, you might have beaten me to it, but I wasn't looking. So there. And there's some studies showing that for a few weeks or even months after a certain jab, your heart needs more sugar to burn. Ordinarily, your heart burns mostly fat to give it energy, but it'll switch to sugar and they're not sure why, but oh well. Well, dietitians are the worst. They're the ones who designed the school cafeteria meals when I was a child. Now they're more likely to use nutritionists, but the hospitals still use dietitians, and that's why you get crap you can't eat or don't want. When my child was born, they gave me all this vegetarian crap. Spanish rice and overcooked green beans or green peas. Yeah, it was green peas, overcooked, of course. And I don't know. I let my husband eat it when he came to visit because I didn't want it. I just kept asking for ice cream and graham crackers. They had an unlimited supply of that. Oh, Ditch has been a victim of New Age medicine. Dietitians are trained differently from nutritionists. They just basically go by what the government recommends with their food pyramid. Nutritionists look at what you need in way of nutrients like vitamins and minerals, as well as how much protein, how many carbs, and all that. So they're a cut above, but the nutritionist they sent me to, at least it was by phone, I didn't have to travel. I told her specifically I need to gain weight. And the diet she recommended, when I researched it and made sure, because I had my suspicions, it was designed to either maintain weight or lose weight. It was not designed to gain weight. And I don't know what made her think I could eat 3 servings of meat every day. Yeah, I might have a little bit of ham or sausage or bacon with breakfast, which I usually eat at lunchtime. But I'm not going to have like 8 ounces, which is half a pound of steak or pork chop or whatever 3 times a day. It's ridiculous. Yeah, the food pyramid is basically cereal heavy, top heavy with carbs. Oh, I need more carbs than most people. But I also need the protein and the vitamins and minerals and stuff. Lots of creamy dairy might help weight gain. With weight gain, yeah. I sometimes eat yogurt. It's hard to get some that is not low fat, because the low fat stuff has a ton of sugar to make up for the missing fat. But I love sour cream on all sorts of things. And I like cottage cheese, but lately it has had a funny taste. And I think they're simply leaving most of the whey in it. You know, cottage cheese is what they used to call curds and whey, but the whey contains the little bacteria that turn milk into cheese, and it has an odd acidy taste. Sour cream, though, oh yeah. I could eat it with a spoon. I've been told that Greek yogurt is almost the same and better for you, so if I can find Greek yogurt that is not low fat, I'll try that. And back when they were trying to make us give up butter and margarine both, people would take plain yogurt, hang it in several layers of cheesecloth, and let the liquid come out so it became a spread you could put on toast. Oh, Ditch likes kefir. I don't. I like the thickness of the yogurt. The texture is important. Kefir isn't possible for you right now? Oh, and nowadays, if you are sensitive to lactose in milk products, too expensive. Oh, butter was supposed to cause heart attacks. You know how it goes. Eggs good, eggs bad, eggs good again. Avocados good, avocados bad, avocados good again. And for decades it was butter bad, margarine good. And then it became margarine bad, butter good, and then for a short time they didn't want you to eat either one because they have fat in them. There are many parts of your body that need fat. I mean, you don't need to sit there and eat a can of lard, but low-fat diets end up making people gain weight in some cases, according to the experts, because they replace the fat with sugar and other carbs. And some people, like me, do fine on tons of pasta and a little chocolate now and then. You know, a little bit. Every day I'll have at least one bite of chocolate, but I don't eat the whole candy bar all at once. Chocolate has cocoa butter, if it's the real thing. And that's a form of fat. Let's light this thing. Okay. Yeah, everyone's body is different, and you need to explore foods for yourself. A lot of the chefs on YouTube are now cooking with avocado oil. Now, of course, I used olive oil in the lasagna because it's an Italian food. And I learned from Chef Vincenzo's Plate, really great channel. It isn't bolognese sauce. Italians hate it when Americans and British say that. It's bolognese, and that ties my tongue in a knot. So I just call the sauce ragu, not the brand that comes in a jar. Ragu means meat sauce, and I can pronounce it. Wow. Philip says his grandma grew up on dairy and lived into her 90s. And her brain was still healthy, but her body didn't keep up. Yeah, and wishing my body would catch up with my brain, really. Coffee and water tonight. I have my tea in the morning when the sun is up. So anyway, the thing about making a pineapple upside down cake is that I do use a box cake mix, but I do not follow the directions on it. As Uncle Roger likes to say, you cook with feeling. And that applies to baking a cake as well. But these darn cake mixes, they say extra moist and all that. That's because they have you add the things that make it moist. And they charge more for their box mix because it's moist and creamy. It's the eggs and butter you add. And when I come across a thing where it says add so much oil to it, no. I'm not going to pour cooking oil into my cake. And I'm not going to use margarine. So I use butter and eggs for the moisture, plus milk, of course. Even if it says to use water, I use milk. I have a burner email. Oh, Ditch, it isn't a burner email. It's just that it doesn't get as full as the one that receives all my spam. Here, I'll give you my email. I got to point all the lights at the keyboard. Oh, the light works pretty well that way. But now you can see how awful I look in the middle of the night. There you go. It's also the PayPal address. Dracula loves upside down cake. Yeah. Yeah. It sucks when you've lost a password or PIN code for something. I'm telling you, in California especially, the price of pork is outrageous. And I do want farmers to treat the pigs better. But it's getting ridiculous here. The pack of bacon keeps getting smaller while the price gets higher. In a sense, it's okay for me because there's only one of me to feed, so smaller amounts aren't a big, huge deal. Oh, Ditch won't even charge me for the logo? That's so cool. Oh, the reason Jason hauls my trash, one of the reasons why his wife Catherine is getting the upside down cake is she sent me a gift. I've been using a very old portable handheld mixer that doesn't really work right. It won't do low speed. And she sent me this brand new. It's still a hand mixer, but it actually works right. And it has its own little cup thingy to sit in. It holds the beaters and the cord. There's a little, where'd it go? Little notch here for the cord to come off the mixer and down into the cup thingy. Whoa, Nelly, it came apart. I almost dropped everything on the floor. Okay, where'd the thingy go? Where's the notch? There, here. Oh, get inside. You evil thing. There. Get all the way down in the cup, please. The cord wants to pop out. Well, that'll work for now. Okay, so she deserves the first cake made with the new mixer. No, it's just uses beaters to mix cake batter and frosting and stuff like that, and to whip egg whites. I do have a little food chopper thingy. It's a cheap little one, but it works for me because I rarely need it. Actually, I have two. One holds just a 12-ounce cup, tall like a drinking glass. And the other is a squat, a shorter cup, but bigger around. They're both cheap little things, but they work for me. Here I go, knocking the light over again. Yeah, cookie dough. Oh, Ditch says there's a lamb bacon, which is kosher. Yeah, there's also beef bacon. And even vegetarian bacon. I've had vegetarian bacon. You have to cook it in butter to make it taste halfway decent. But it's not that bad. Oh, Ditch is off for a power nap. Well, thanks for coming in, Ditch, and we'll see you again. Yeah, the cup thingy is just to hold the mixer when you store it. It's not for using it. Anyway, the blender that's just a tall drinking glass size is for, making shakes. Vegetarian bacon, well, unfortunately it's not gluten-free. It has wheat flour and food coloring to make the stripes. I'm worried about it as regarding nutrition. It doesn't taste too bad. I think it's Morningstar Farms, and I have a feeling they add things in there that I don't want to eat. But I haven't looked at their ingredients list recently, so I don't remember much. Well, I care what my food looks like, but yeah, I wouldn't mind bacon that just looked kind of yellow. Yeah, you can't taste colors, but I've seen food that was so beautiful I hated to eat it because I'd destroy the beauty of it. Especially from, let's see, I think it was an Indonesian bakery. Either Indonesia or Thai, but in America, they on top of the frosting on their cake, they would put pieces of fruit like kiwi, slices of peach or apricot, and turn the fruits into beautiful flowers. They'd look like real flowers, like orchids and irises and other beautiful flowers and roses. Darn it. I want another cigarette, and this one's not quite done. I guess I need energy. I'm so slowed down because the heat really takes it out of me. Philip doesn't mind color from vegetable or fruit juice or pickles with turmeric for color. Now, I'm told that turmeric is not spicy, not peppery hot, but I have to go easy on turmeric. There's something about the flavor that if it's overdone, I don't like it. Well, it was amazing, that Indonesian bakery. Amazing. And one of the students that I was tutoring brought some for the whole office, which was 3 people. So it wasn't a huge cake, just little individual slices for each of us. And we were all looking at them going, boy, I don't want to eat this because I'll ruin the beauty of it. But we ate it and it was delicious. Yeah, there's frosting that looks like flowers. They have special tips for the bags. What do they call those bags? Where you squeeze it out of the bag and it goes through a special tip at the end of the bag. Pastry bag. And they can make cookies and frosting look like flowers or stars or all sorts of things. Sometimes they use it to form individual candies from chocolate or whatever. I should have done this on the cooking show, but frankly, I'm on my main YouTube channel and it feels good. Such an amazing chat room. Oh, Philip Blair, like a gingerbread house, cake frosting that looked like flowers. Yeah. I've looked into how to make a gingerbread house and I think I'll pass. I don't think I have the skill to put it together successfully. Now, maybe I'm weird, but I like fruitcake. But I've looked into getting the dried fruits. Well, the thing with gingerbread house, the gingerbread has to be the right texture or it'll break or sag. The frosting has to be just right and you use just the right amount or the walls fall off. Or you get all the walls done and you put on the roof and the whole thing collapses. I think I'd rather just make a gingerbread and put the frosting on. I love my grandmother's fruit cake, but the dried fruits that go into it are expensive. Last time I had fruit cake, though, it was a disappointment because the frosting on top was marzipan. It's made with crushed almonds. Super crushed to where they're like butter. And I don't know why. I like almonds, but I can't stand marzipan. And the lady who made it for me was so proud that she'd made real marzipan for the fruit cake. I didn't dare say anything, but I scraped it off and just ate the fruit cake. And, you know, it'll dry out over time, but you just pour a little rum or brandy into it, and that moistens it again. And of course, it won't rot very fast with alcohol in it. When I finally tried rum not too long ago, I wanted to make rum raisins, and I did. Oh, they're good. Rum kind of tastes like sugar water. It's good, but it wasn't at all what I expected. Of course, I got the clear kind. I imagine the darker kind of rum, you know, probably tastes more like molasses. Aw, yeah, one of your aunts substituted a few ingredients in your grandma's recipe for fruitcake. Not the same, but okay, you guess. Yeah, the rum was very sweet. Um, and when the raisins are soaked in it, mainly I did that because the raisins got dried out. I keep them in the refrigerator. But even if you, whether you do that or keep them out, they do go dry over time. So I soak them in rum for a couple hours. They say to soak them overnight. They were not alcoholic at the end. Alcohol tends to evaporate, but they tasted so good. I'm going to have to do that again. And it's supposed to be good for arthritis to eat rum raisins. Itchies. Okay. What I'm going to do when I'm able is get an overhead lamp that hangs from the ceiling onto my desk here so I can see the keyboard without a flashlight. I think that'll make a big difference in my YouTube video as well. Oh, rum raisin cake? I guess it has raisins soaked in rum. I've never tried to make one or find out how it's made. I do like raisins in just about anything sweet. My oatmeal, raisin bread. Raisin bread toasted and slathered with butter and cinnamon sugar is just awesome. Awesome possum. My granny made the best fruit cake and there was no frosting on it at all. Wow. I should come on in the middle of the night more often, but usually I'm sleeping. It's this crazy heat wave that's got me totally off kilter when it comes to time. It's been in the 90s, which is, it never happens in the mountains. It might get up barely to 90, but it's been like 95 and hotter. Yeah, I wouldn't mind frosting on fruitcake, but marzipan, sort of an almond paste with lots of sugar, I didn't like it. Tasted off. And I like almonds, but I don't like that. Oh, wow. So, I got tired of the political stuff again. YouTube just refuses to show me cooking shows. I have to search for my favorite cooking channels. Even though I clicked the bell for, notify me of everything they post, I end up having to search for Glenn and Friends Cooking and Anti-Chef and Vincenzo's Plate. And what else? Oh, Guga. I forget his channel's exact name, but he's Guga, Guga. And what's the one with Frenchie? Let me see if... no, I can't do that. Oh, well, it's two chefs, and one is Frenchie. Is that Guga? Or no, Guga's the guy who does weird things with steak. Sometimes it's delicious and sometimes not so much. But he'll do two or three different versions and have his friends taste them and rate them. I think, I don't know, there's Bobbish? Is that it? Ooh, cheesecake frosting isn't bad. Well, it's cream cheese. For some reason, you can no longer get a cheesecake that has both cream cheese frosting and cherries on top. So what I do is get the one with the cream cheese icing because I still haven't mastered making it from scratch. But I'll get the one with cream cheese frosting and a can of cherry pie filling and pour that on top. Oh, yeah, the best of both worlds. There's something about the tang of the cream cheese frosting that you just have to have on a cheesecake. But New York style doesn't have frosting. They're missing out on a good thing. Isn't bad. Cheesecake frosting is awesome. Now I've learned to make the frosting myself with cheesecake. The recipes have an ungodly amount of sugar in them. So I just whip up the cheese, cream cheese, get it light and fluffy, and just pour in the powdered sugar, a tablespoon at a time until it tastes good. And I'm using a lot less sugar than these crazy recipes. Actually, if you sometimes when you get a notification from YouTube, there is a choice that says don't recommend this channel, but I haven't figured out why it only pops up occasionally. But I have managed 2 times now to say don't recommend this channel to me. If you don't want recommendations, but I haven't figured out why they don't show me the cooking shows unless if I do a search for cooking shows, they show me things I've already watched. Sometimes I've watched them twice. I really enjoy Anti-Chef, but I wish I could talk to him and tell him how to pronounce things. What was the most recent one? It was hilarious. Chicken fricassee. It was like a year old. He's probably learned from now that it's fricassee. Philip has seen that option a couple times. Yeah, don't recommend this channel. So when it comes to politics and movie reviews too, there's Benny Johnson, Doug in Exile, Black Conservative Perspective, Reckless, but ending in 2 Z's instead of 2 S's, the LFR family. There's more, but I can't remember all the channel names at the moment. But I'm getting tired of it. So I changed the notifications from all to personalized, and that has been helpful. I've been up for nearly an hour. Well, I'm not going to be sleeping. I might be resting, or I might be puttering around in the kitchen. Oh, yeah, the old time radio channels. I can't remember the names of them, but there's one with Sherlock Holmes radio shows. And of course, they aren't always the same stories that you've already seen in movies or TV shows. Then there's the one with Nero Wolfe. I like those. I can set, some of them run 8 hours or longer, so I can set it to play all night while I'm sleeping. I don't like silence, so it helps me to sleep. And I already know all the stories, so they aren't going to mess up my dreams. Oh, Philip recommends the Late Late Horror Show. They have an overnight stream with a nice variety. There are even some, well, they're not radio shows, they're audio books. No, a couple are radio shows, like X-1. But you can play audio books of short stories by Philip K. Dick. Oh, yours truly, Johnny Dollar. I keep getting that recommended, but it's never at a time when it's convenient for me to watch. Oh yeah, X-1 is an amazing radio show. Oh, and by the way, with this particular torch or flashlight, I don't have to worry about running the batteries down because it's solar. You just give it some light and it charges. I'm sorry, I don't remember the lady's name at the moment. I think it's Sarah. But don't hold me to it. She sent me such a cool package a while back, including this flashlight. Amazing. Yeah, I suppose I should get back to puttering in the kitchen. If the heat will just subside, I can do another video for the cooking channel. But, you know, the dishes and pots and pans need to be clean. And last time I made lasagna, the stovetop got really greasy. I wiped off the food that spilled out of the pan, but I've got to do some major cleaning on the stovetop. It's a wreck. So I guess I better like tune on out and wish you a great evening, night, morning, whatever. Oh, Philip recommends Hall of Fantasy. The spookiest story he's ever heard so far was Dance of the Devil Dolls from 1953. Now you made me think of that Twilight Zone episode. I'm talking... Did it wrong. I'm talking Tina, and you better be nice to me. In which the doll was torturing the stepfather, the evil stepfather. Yes, talking Tina is scary. Twilight Zone episode. I forget the title of the show. I just remember that doll. Yeah, and then there's all these stories of real life haunted dolls. I don't want anything to do with them. You know, the devil does not come in uninvited, so why take a chance? Okay. Well, Philip and everyone else, it's been awesome, but I gotta sign up. Oh, Peter, Lorre, and Vincent Price. Awesome actors. But I gotta do something useful while I'm not knocked for a loop by the heat. So we'll do the... Oh, come on. It doesn't like... The keyboard doesn't like the letter A. Yeah, and Burgess Meredith was great in The Twilight Zone, where he finally has time to read, but he breaks his glasses. And there's no one to fix his glasses because, you know, the nuclear war killed everybody else. That was so sad at the end. And then there was the one with the devil, the printer's devil, where Burgess Meredith had this printing press that was haunted. It wrote its own stories. Okay, guys, have a great one, and thanks for coming in. Bye.